Okay, great. Okay, so I'm recording, Keith, just so you know.
Excellent. Okay.
And we looked at your video yesterday and thought it was really interesting and looked like it had there was a lot of work into it, a lot of research, certainly.
Yeah.
Everybody want to tell Keith your name just for fun?
My name is Amina.
Athena?
Amina.
Amina. Hi, Amina.
My name is Dejan.
Hey, Dejan.
Other guys, come closer, everybody. We got guys. I don't know.
Hey. Tyree. Okay, there he is. Pokes out.
David in the background. We can't get him away from editing his basketball footage over there.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, he's working. Okay. Excellent.
So do you have like a talk you want to give us first, or how do you want to do this?
Sure. I mean, I'm happy to talk about just about anything. But before I do, can I get a sense of what you guys are working on right now with your projects?
This is the end of our second week of being together. It's a 6-week program.
Yeah.
And their hopes is that at the end of 6 weeks, they will each one have done a small independent film, which we will, whoever's turn it is, we will be their crew for each one.
Great.
And
yeah.
at this point, they've all given me their ideas, and I'm sure they would love to tell you their ideas for their films. It would be quite interesting.
Yeah, I love to hear them.
And at the end of the 6 weeks, we're going to have like a film festival.
That's fun. Okay.
The families invited and give out awards and everything.
Great. So who amongst you guys wants to be a filmmaker or have thought about it at one point? Director, producer, filmmaker, editor, anything? Anyone?
I probably have to want to be a director.
Okay. Nice. Okay. And then can you remember what inspired you to want to be a director?
Oh, just the way they yell at people.
But when you yell action.
But seriously, just the way directors vision their projects and wondering how our works and what they like to see and how they operate.
Yeah, excellent. Okay. All right. Who amongst you guys who likes to learn who's curious about learning new things about the world and exploring cultures and people and those sorts of things? Okay, nice. Okay. And who watches movies? All you guys. Okay. All you guys watch movies. Okay. Except for a few. Okay. Good. Well, so I've been doing this line of work for 20 years now, and I got started from just a curiosity of wanting to explore different worlds that were, on our planet. I was just curious about the world, and so I was also into comic books as a kid. And so I was always reading comic books and always drawing cartoons. And, when I grew up, we didn't have the internet like you guys have it. So I grew up learning to draw the cartoons of the 20th century. It's so weird to say that. So I grew up drawing like the Disney cast and the Hanna-Barbera cast and the Warner Brother cast of characters. And, and even sort of the old school cartoons from the 50s, 40s, and 20s, I learned to draw all those characters because I love to draw and I love to explore like characters and stories, and just always part of my life. In addition, I enjoyed just reading books. And so for me, it all came together. Well, let me ask you, how many of you guys grew up in the church by chance? Mothers, fathers, grandmothers took you to church, kinda? Okay, okay. Well, I grew up in the church, the Baptist church, and I was always bored in church. And so my mother would give me a pencil and paper to draw just to keep my attention, so I'd stop fidgeting. And you know, I remember one day, I don't know why I looked up one day, but the pastor in the pulpit was preaching about what he's always preached about, the characters in the Bible. And it clicked for me for some reason, because I realized that what he's talking about the pulpit and the characters in this Bible who, you know, for all intents and purposes, you know, none of us know these people, but they were able to move a crowd emotionally to respond to him. When he tells you stories, they would respond to him emotionally. And they'd, you know, they'd yell, they'd scream, they'd sing, you know, they'd stomp their feet and just kind of moan amens and all sorts of things. And I realized the power in that, the power in storytelling went beyond just what I was thinking with drawing characters and that sort of thing. Like this was like real theater. And so, you know, I come from a family of ministers. And so, you know, I never had a calling to go and to be a minister. That wasn't my thing. But I didn't want to move people that way. You know, the same way, you know, some of the pop stars move their audiences when they go on stage, and people are emotionally involved in their stage performance and their songs. That emotion is powerful if you can command it. The same way, you know, a good public speaker can move people. You know, there's power in that. And that was really attractive to me. And I knew that somehow I wanted to do that. I wanted to make stories that move people that way. And so eventually I went to film school and graduated and started working professionally and started doing my own projects on the side, because no one pays you to do your own projects when you're starting off. So when you're starting off, you have to have the ambition and the gumption to create and to be an artist on your own without the support. And that was really difficult for me because I didn't have the money. And so I just found ways to do it cheaply. And eventually I was able to make short films. Those short films were displayed at film festivals and there's a TV network that you guys probably don't know about, but in the early 2000s it existed. It was called Current TV. And I would submit my work to Current TV, and then one of the former vice presidents named Al Gore. Does anyone know who Al Gore is here? He was a bit before your time. Of course, because you're probably around my age. But, you know, he started a TV network and he picked up my first documentary, aired it on his network. And then I started getting attention and more attention. And eventually my career started to snowball. You know, filmmaking, directing, producing is a skill set that no matter where you go in your life, you're going to be able to use this for multiple reasons. I think you guys, who's on social media? Who's on Instagram? Who's on TikTok? Nice. Okay. So you guys know the importance of how to communicate visually, how to communicate without using pen to paper, and how to entertain and engage. Do you guys find it fun, difficult, hard, challenging? How would you describe your experiences on working with TikTok and Instagram and the other ones?
Easy.
Yeah. Okay. And is there a love in doing it?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's entertaining.
It's entertaining. What do you love about it?
It keeps me busy.
Okay.
But
How about you in the corner over there? What do you love about it?
I usually use it as a platform for my music.
and direct the videos that I'm in.
Okay.
It's pretty good the way it comes out because I'm a camera dude myself, so I know what I'm looking for.
Yeah, nice. Okay. Well, it's good you guys are like on those because you guys are building up your literacy and how to communicate this way. It's easy, it's time consuming, yes it is, and so is filmmaking. But as we move into the future, this skill set is gonna be so vitally important for your success in life. Because if you don't know how to do this stuff, you're gonna be left behind, you're gonna be left in the dark while the world continues moving forward to communicate in this way and new ways that will build upon this. So it's good you guys are on those platforms. And how well have you guys done growing your audience?
So what?
Say that again, Keith?
How well have you done growing your audience on TikTok and Instagram?
So my followers, yeah, I got 2.9K on a gram.
Nice.
One, I got
249,000?
No,
I got 2,313.
2.9K.
How much?
That's like
2,900. On my business page, I got like 70 followers. And on like
70,000?
70 straight, like not straight 70. Like my personal page though, I got 2.
Yeah.
I don't use TikTok.
Gotcha. Okay. And what's your business?
My business, I make music too.
You make music. Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys do music? Do you do music videos?
I have one music video. Well, that video is only like 2,000 views.
Okay. Cool. And are you guys producing or are you guys performers?
Both. On both.
Both. Okay.
I write my own lyrics.
I do everything myself.
Nice. Okay. Nice. So as artists, then you guys know what it takes to really put yourself out there, to really plan and kind of figure out what you want to do next and what you want to express. And then once you make it, how it moves your audience, right? And then what's your experience when you move when your audience responds to you? What do you feel? What are you getting back?
I feel some type of accomplishment because like I feel like I get some type of recognition. People, when I play my stuff on the train, people like, oh, okay. Some people like, oh, he's nice. Oh, some people be like, oh, like they wait till after like I'm done and like I'm still on the train. Like, yo, can I follow you on Instagram? You have Instagram?
Yeah.
It's your music? Oh, don't quit. They be saying stuff like that.
Yeah.
No,
excellent.
I've actually networked with a lot of people doing that.
Is that how you were able to grow your audience?
Somewhat, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that sort of when you do work, when you do your personal work and people respond to it, there's no better feeling to get than that. But also it can be terrifying too, because you're putting yourself out there and you're putting yourself out into the world. The world's not always that kind, you know. But it doesn't matter because you keep doing your expression and you will find your audience and they will be loyal to you. And that's sort of what you're doing is what I'm doing on what you're doing on Instagram is what I'm doing in like TV and film. It's the same thing. There's really no difference. It comes down to how do you tell a story well. And how do you market that story well, right? Because at the end of the day, it's about eyeballs. How many eyeballs can you attract? And so if you guys are already doing the work now, by the time you guys get into your late 20s, 30s, 40s, you guys will kind of have this kind of understanding of what this is and how to move people, how to move money. They're connected, right? And so keep doing the work. That's great. So the type of films I make primarily are documentaries. And I know you guys just watched one called By Whatever Means Necessary. And so I got into documentaries by accident, actually. I was too poor to make scripted short films. But because I had no money, I could make documentaries, which required, just me with the camera and finding the story. And so that's what snowballed for me, right? And it's a really exciting art form to be in. It's become a really popular art form to be in because more people are watching documentaries than ever before in history. We are now in a renaissance for documentary filmmaking. And so if this is a career path you guys have eyeballs for or ambitions for, there's a decent living you can make doing this. And you go on tremendous adventures around the world. You meet amazing people. And there's never a dull moment. You're a student for life, essentially. And so if that interests you, then this line of work can be a really fulfilling line of work. But there's different categories of jobs in this too. Like I'm a producer, director, but there's a whole host of other stuff you can do. As you guys are learning now, how to edit, how to shoot, how to create quality sound, right? How to organize these things, which is producing work. Beyond that, there's a business end of it, right? If some of you are more interested in business, then there's a line of work. Producers are business people, agents are business people, executives at some of the studios or networks. Like if you want to be an executive at Netflix or Amazon Prime, or Hulu or Apple Plus or Paramount Pictures, there's a desperate need for executives of color to represent, to bring in greater array of voices into Hollywood and into TV and into the different platforms that exist. So, whatever your interest is, even if it's in law, anyone have interest in law, becoming a lawyer? Not one. No one? What about the guy I can't see?
Laura.
No, not law.
Okay.
Lawyer.
Okay. Well, tell me what do you guys, who hasn't spoken yet? What are you interested in? Just any curiosity, whatever may pique your interest.
I'm interested in doing nails.
And doing nails?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Well, it's funny because when you look at the actors on screen, someone has to do that. Someone has to keep their nails clean. Someone has to keep their nails painted. There's a whole, there's a lot of thinking that goes into what nail color the actor or actress is going to wear, based on her character, based on where she's at, if it's winter or summer, right? And so there's a lot of thinking that goes into it. So if you want to be a nail technician for a movie or TV show, that's a line of work you can look into, and there's actually space for that. I also say in the commercial world, if you're into commercials, they have a such thing called hand models. And these are men and women who have beautiful hands. And that's all they do. I mean, they know how to move their hands perfectly. So it's really attractive and appealing. And so, they work with special people to make sure that their hand care is up to the high standards, which can be for a normal person. It's wow, they wear gloves to protect their hands. It's crazy, but it's a whole different world that exists within this world, right?
How do hand models get recruited? How does that happen?
You have to photograph your hands and make sure the agents who are responsible for hand models see them. There are agents out there who represent hand models, and you have to find out where they are. You can Google hand model agents or hand model agencies and see who they are. And then if you have beautiful hands, photograph your hands and send pictures, And you'd be surprised. I mean, you can make some nice chunk of change just by showing up with nice hands. Who else? How about my man in the front with sunglasses? What interests you? The one scratching his head.
I don't know what. Love. Tell them your idea for your film.
Well, my idea for a film is my dog.
Okay. Do you like animals?
Yeah, I love animals. Not animals,
Okay.
all animals, but I love dogs.
You like dogs. Okay, what kind of dog do you have?
She's mixed. I don't really know what she's mixed with. I don't know everything about that. But
Okay.
she's a nice little dog. She listens.
So what's the story? What's the story? Why do you want to make a film about your dog?
Probably the dog's one of a kind, but I don't know. She's different. She's a very different kind of dog. So I don't be having doing that.
Okay. All right. And so you're doing this for sorry. Are you doing this for the program or are you doing it on your own?
Well, yeah, I could say I'm doing it for the program, but if it could go somewhere, that could probably be beneficial for me.
Okay. Excuse me, I'm choking on something.
My idea for adding something to his film, we talked about it the other day, was for him to talk about why the dog is important to him, but maybe to write a little script about the dog talking about how he's important to the dog. They could use the voice to be the dog talking.
Yeah. Do you plan on doing a documentary that has humor in it, or do you plan on doing something that's more serious? What are your thoughts? I couldn't hear what he said.
It has to definitely be hilarious. I gotta put some funny things about the dog.
Okay. Okay, cool. Well, I'll bring it back to this. If you find joy in working with your dog on this project, again, like there's a whole line of work. People start businesses over just by working with dogs specifically in film and TV. That is a very specific line of work, a niche place that you can find a career in if that's what you choose to do. And, you know, if you have dogs that are really awesomely trained, you know, you've seen those dogs in movies, or any of those animals in movies, you know, those people have figured out a way to really create their love of having animals into big business. It's an option, right? These are all options for all of us to look at. How about my man in the red pants? What's he into?
I'm into like, well, I have two films I won't be making. Well, one about a cooking contest or competition, and the other one's gonna be like a random trivia questionnaire.
Okay. Are you developing this in this program or just on your own?
In this program.
Okay, cool. And so what do you hope to accomplish by making this story?
Get some laughs, you know,
okay.
And probably eat some good food.
No one in the world has never liked to laugh and eat, that's for sure. Well, that's cool. And then how long will it be? How long do you think it'll be?
To take the film, or how long will the film be?
How long will the film be, do you think?
Probably like the trivia part, the trivia question, probably like 10 minutes. But the cooking probably the same too. Well, it's probably like 30.
So is it trivia related to the food?
No.
Oh, it's separate.
Yes.
Okay. So it's like a hybrid type show then, in a way. You have food and you have trivia.
It's gonna be two separate. Two separate films.
Oh, two separate films. Gotcha. Okay, copy it. Well, there's a new film that just came out on Netflix called High on the Hog. Have you seen it?
I have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what'd you think of it?
It was good. I learned a
All
lot.
right. All right. So, you know, when we make films, we want to make sure that we know what's out there that's related to our films, right? So, you know, like when you guys just saw an episode from the series I just did. So to make that series, I looked at other films of similar subject matter to get an idea of what's out there in the world already. And then how will my film be part of that discussion, right? Because when you put your work out there, whether it's music, films, or whatever, you're entering into a discussion, a public discussion of some sort. So when you make your food story, you know, you should have an idea of what discussion you're entering into, right? And by watching other movies or reading books or articles about your subject matter, you can start scoping and getting an idea of where, you know, you might want to take your story based on what the conversation is right now, right? Or in the past. It doesn't have to be right now. You can have conversations with books and materials and historic figures that are 400 years ago. You know, it's all conversation. You know, we're very social. We're social people. People are social, and everything we make is part of an ongoing conversation. Even from the mundane things of where you, like, you know, these pictures of the three people behind you. Who are they, and what are they? Why are they important to be there? What's the conversation happening that they need to be center in the room? What's that conversation about? You know. So if you start thinking about your films in a way that, you know, how you're responding to the world, you may find different, and you may find inspiration that you didn't have before, that may take you in a whole different direction that could elevate your ideas and really find excitement for yourself and your audiences. How about you in the white? What are you making? In the white shirt.
Who's?
Oh, well, you. Behind, yeah.
I'm not making any films. I'm a court advocate here, so.
Oh, cool.
I'm
Okay.
just watching them all make the stuff and being entertained.
Oh, great. Okay, cool.
There are a couple people hiding on the side there, out of your view.
Okay.
Come on. What's that?
Oh, well, do they not want to talk? That's fine.
I can't rein them in, sorry.
All right.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
One of the things we get to a lot is talking about how these people could conceivably, you know, get apprenticeships or jobs or start out, or do you have any advice or know of anything? Or
Well, what's the age range in the room? Who's the youngest? Who's the oldest?
I think it's
I'm the youngest.
16 to 22 approximately.
20.
Perfect ages. And so you know, high school, post high school, right? So does anyone have ambitions to have an internship someplace?
A paid internship?
Sure, or any internship. So let me just back up a little bit. So internships are a great way to add to your education, right? They are designed to give individuals an entryway into whatever industry they're exploring, from film to finance to music to real estate or whatever it might be. And so if you guys have interest in whatever you're interested in, like, you know, music, for instance, you know, you might want to think about interning at Sony Music or BMG or Elektra or some of these companies that make, or Bad Boy or whatever it might be. These companies that who are out there making music and are leaders in the industry. I've known people who've taken internships that have grown into really powerful careers. So it's a good thing to think about. Paid internships, of course, are going to be highly favorable. So you should definitely seek out those, because if you have to work anyway, why not work and get paid for it in the area that you're interested in? So it makes complete sense. Is there anyone in college or going to junior college or anything like that? Or have plans to?
I've been to college.
Okay.
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment. Do you want to go back?
Not yet.
Not yet. So, when it's time to go back, when you decide it's time to go back, so internships can also be, you can also get credits for internships. So as opposed to going to class every day, you could go to the office every day, learn on the job, and get school credit for it. It's another way you can look at it too. But yeah, if I need some more specifics, Gary, about who wants to go where, because I could speak specifically or I can speak generally.
Tyreek. Tyreek is, I think, very interested in doing something in his profession. So I'm dragging him in here. Here he comes. There he is.
Hey, Tyreek.
What's up?
So you have what's your interest?
Just really working out. Really, I just
Working out in the gym.
Yeah, or outside.
Okay, so you're into fitness then.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay. And are you here in the city? You all are in the city, right?
I'm now, but I'm in Staten Island.
Okay. And what do you want to do in fitness? Do you want to be a trainer? Do you want to run a gym?
I'm not too sure yet. I mean, I do have a story behind on why I do fitness.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just wanted to put it out there real quick and see who could learn from what I've done.
Nice. And so what's your story in fitness?
Just basically me recently getting incarcerated and learning a few things about the body inside, and then coming home to actually really worrying about my health and my body.
That's great. That's great. So you've been studying and kind of looking into that more and more. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, I have, but I haven't taken anything too far. I just do like routines every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have friends who work out with you, or who are into the same things you are?
When I came home, I had a cousin who was with me like every day. We was at the gym, so he was like my gym partner.
Cool. And how old are you now?
I'm 21.
Cool. All right. Well, if this is a line of work that really has your interest, then pursue it with all you have, because the fitness industry is huge, and there's a lot of room for people to move into it. And if you're on Staten Island, there are a lot of gyms on Staten Island that you should look into getting a job with, and getting employment with them, and let them know that your ambition is to really learn from the ground up, and you want to be a trainer. And you should ask them, if I come work for you, can you help me figure out how I can become a trainer over the course of a year or 2 years, whatever it might be for you. That's your ambition. And because that will kickstart your career.
Okay.
And get you around the people who are doing the same thing that you're into, working out and knowing how to do it properly, nutrition, the routines, how to build your body, how to strengthen your body, and flexibility and all that stuff. And as you learn more, your interests are going to expand, and you're going to find the area that's going to be right for you. You know what I mean? And you're going to find the right people to get you there too. So if that's any encouragement, I think you have a a curiosity that lends itself to a lot of opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just an interesting aside is that the way that I got to Keith was through a trainer. My wife goes to a trainer. What's the connection, Keith? I forget.
So I work out at a gym, and one of the trainers, I guess, trains you or your wife. I'm not sure.
My wife.
Trains your wife. And so he knew I was a filmmaker. He knew that you were involved in the program teaching filmmaking.
Right.
So he connected us two.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions out there?
Anything in the film industry you're interested in?
We was talking about it earlier, but you gave me a little wide idea about my idea. So
I think what she's getting to is that Tyreek has expressed a lot of interest in getting into filmmaking.
In what?
PA or
Being a
jobs
PA, he's interested in getting to the filmmaking business. He wants to do a film about training, but he's really interested in filmmaking at the moment. He's expressed that interest.
Well, trainers in filmmaking, again, there's lots of opportunity there. You guys see how how Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans and Michael B. Jordan, how they get into shape for their movies. They work with trainers to do that. And they work with men and women who have studied how to transform bodies. And they hire them, pay them decently, and they work with them over the course of however long to get them to that shape where Michael B. Jordan can play a boxer or can play a supervillain, right? Who's all jacked and muscular. So, you know, trainers have a place in this industry, and you can make a decent living doing it. Also, I lost my thought, but also they, I lost my thought. Oh, I know what's going. Also, a lot of trainers in the film industry become stuntmen, and they go in to do stunts, and that's all they do, and that's a whole career path in itself. Yeah.
We do have later on in this program, we do have a stunt person coming in to talk to us.
Oh, great. Well, ask him or her, you know, how they got started. I'm sure it's going to start somewhere in fitness. That's my bet. Yeah.
Anybody else have any questions?
You mentioned that you like to draw. If you weren't in the film industry, do you think you would be a tattoo artist?
No, I wouldn't be a tattoo artist. You know why? I don't like blood.
Oh.
If I didn't go into film, I probably would. This is a curveball. But if I didn't go into film, I'd probably be a zoologist.
Okay.
Just like my man up front who likes his dog, I love animals too. So, yeah.
So what Will wants to do a film about nature.
Okay.
Dragging him in.
Well, don't be shy. You want to do a film about nature?
Yeah.
Tell me about it. Let's talk about it.
I don't know, I just like nature or something.
Okay, what do you like about nature?
The fact that we need it to survive.
Okay, nice. And what part do you like? Do you like the ocean? Do you like the forest? Do you like the swamps? What do you like? I couldn't hear you. What?
Or the above.
All the above. Okay. Okay, great. So a couple things come to mind. One, we all know we're in a climate crisis. and the consequences are going to be astronomical. And we have to figure out how to survive this and how to find solutions to help, change the trajectory of where we're going, because it's about survival. And right now we're pretty comfortable because it doesn't seem like there's much that's changing, but when it does, we're gonna be in pretty big trouble, guys. So, if you're doing nature films, I'm not sure what your direction is on your film, but I gotta say that it's so very much needed. And I gotta say that as far as people of color, we definitely need to have voices that talk to, our communities about what the importance of nature and why we are attached to it, right? If you're interested in nature, there's a film festival in Wyoming called Jackson Hole Film Festival, right? Have you guys heard of Jackson Hole before? Anyone in the room? Okay, so Jackson Hole is a resort town in Wyoming where a lot of people go and ski and do all sorts of winter sports. It's supposed to be, I've never been, it's supposed to be really beautiful. And so that town has hosted a film festival that specifically looks at films that talk about the environment. And so as you make your film, first of all, you should Google Jackson Hole Film Festival and look at their environmental film section. 1, 2, you should also see they have a program that nurtures and helps grow filmmakers who are interested in environmental subject matter, right? And how old are you?
20.
Great, it's a great age. So, if you find that this project you're doing now inspires you to do more work in this area, you should definitely contact them and say, hey, I live in New York, I'm interested in this, here's what I've done, I would love to learn more. Is there any space for me to come and learn about this sort of filmmaking, right? And see if they have scholarships attached to it. If not, look for sponsorships. I don't know. If it's a great interest of yours, you'll find a way to get there if they accept you. But it's a cool area to be in for sure. Definitely needed. So all praise to that. What else, guys? I want to be of service to you guys.
You're doing great. You're doing great. Thank you.
We don't have to talk about film either. Talk about something else.
You guys can think of some questions. You all can think of questions.
All right, so
I got one question.
But we have
okay.
I have a question.
You said you go to the gym, right?
Come on, we can't barely hear you from here. Come close.
You said you go to the gym, right?
Yeah.
You got a routine?
Yes.
How long is it?
So I'm into fitness too. It's always been part of my life. It's always been an important factor for me in my life. Fitness has always kept me together. I think without it, I don't know if I could keep my life together as I have, but with it, I'm like strong, I am focused, and it seems to line my priorities up pretty nicely for myself too. So my routine, I lift weights 4 times a week. And I do it because I like to stay fit. I do it because, it's the one time of my day where I can just kind of like, I don't have to think so hard. I can just push weight. And there's something that's satisfying with lifting heavier weights and accomplishing those goals. And so I go 4 times a week and I do cardio. If I'm doing really good, if I'm doing really good, I'll do cardio like 2 to 3 times a week. But I'm usually not doing that great, you know, so. Yeah.
Let me try to get AB to come here and tell you another sort of whole nother subject.
Yeah.
I'll switch. I want you to tell about your conversation.
Have a seat.
Hey, AB. Did you have a question?
What's your film about?
Oh, he's on that. Okay. So who's watching? What are you guys watching on Netflix and on Hulu? What are you guys watching right now?
I don't watch Netflix on Hulu.
Well, what do you watch?
Sports and the news.
Sports and news. Okay.
I watch Paramount Plus.
And what are you watching on there?
Well, currently I'm watching iCarly, the new rebooted one.
Okay.
Yeah, you like Carly?
Y'all are some haters. I need y'all to be quiet. Anyway.
It's a whole black girl.
So what's iHarley? Is that like it's a reboot, you said?
Yeah, it came out like years ago, and then
Okay.
we stopped it, and they just made a new one where they're older now.
Oh, okay. Nice. Okay.
Yeah. I'm also watching the show called Why Women Kill on Paramount.
What?
Why Women Kill. Yeah,
Okay.
it's like a drama series. It's really interesting.
Nice. Okay.
Not gonna go too much into detail because.
And so do you watch them back to back, or do you watch them like you parse them out?
Oh no, I binge watch.
Binge watch. Okay. Yeah.
I watch politics on like World War III. Like, so like I would search up World War III on Google and like click news, and then I would see a whole bunch of things.
What did happen?
Yeah, but it's mad close.
So is this content like video content, or is it like
Video content with like the chief of something, some army, like they start speaking out, and then they say like, oh, something near future, we could have a problem with this country.
Nice.
It's not wrong.
That could be very interesting because there's a lot of room for, there could be a lot of inspiration in that as you guys think of your stories, and you know if there's what could spark World War III, and how can your stories be part of that conversation, right? Because it's a fictional war, it hasn't happened. Hopefully it never will happen, but it hasn't happened yet. So
Hey.
Don't say that.
I got international. They got people that's really prevent, like their jobs to prevent that.
Any other shows y'all are watching?
I'm watching Queen of the South on Netflix.
Watching
That's
Evil. Last show I watched Netflix was Lucifer. Ever watch Lucifer? Evil.
Evil.
Lucifer was like a snake in a hole. That's what I watched. That's what I seen on Netflix. Lucifer. I was like 2 years ago.
Lucifer.
I watch all of them.
You know, like Blackness too. Y'all watch Snowfall?
My mom watches it.
Wait, so I want you guys to realize something right now, what just happened. Right? You guys notice what just happened? Everyone came alive, right? People came back from the dead. I mean, like, people are engaging in the conversation here. So just to show how emotionally people get involved in these stories that you guys are watching, you guys just witnessed it right here in this room. How much it impacts all of us, right? this could be a conversation we can have for the next 2 hours, right? And it would be fun, and there'd be debate, and people get all crazy about it, right?
I have a question. What's your all-time favorite movie? Movie and document, or film and documentary.
Yeah, that's hard. All-time favorite. So listen, guys, I'm a nerd, right? I'm full honesty. I'm just a big nerd, right? So I can go into some of those crazy movies from the 60s that no one ever heard about, that's at the bottom of a barrel of someone's house,
Psycho.
What's that?
You know that movie, Psycho?
American Psycho.
I know Psycho, yeah. Norman Bates in the Bates Motel and that knife scene, right? Favorite movie, I guess a handful of them that come to mind. I would say there's an Orson Welles film called F for Fake. I think it's from 1982. It's a documentary hybrid kind of film. It's about fakery. I love it. I don't know. I just love it. It's about fakery in art, fakery in life, things that kind of like the big hoaxes in our lives that we don't see, but are that we live with. Let me think. I just watched the other day One Night in Miami. Has anyone seen that movie? I'm watching right now. I'm watching the movie Judas and the Black Messiah. That's what I'm watching right now. Has anyone watched that movie?
Tyreek's seen it.
You've seen it. I'm watching that right now. I say I'm watching it because I had to pause it because I fell asleep.
The Iron Man dude, right? The black dude.
Idris, no.
Kahlua.
Oh no, it's not him. That's not him.
Oh, the main character. Yeah, I don't know his name. Yeah.
Not one Marvel film? You just gotta watch Endgame, that's it. You gotta watch that. That's all. Nah, you gotta watch a lot more.
You gotta watch some video games too, because that adds something.
You gotta read the comic books and then you gotta watch.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about video games. Who's into video games?
I used to be a beast at Pokemon.
Nobody's into video games?
I don't play video games no more. I just make music all day.
Copy that. Okay. Okay.
My neighbors are annoyed with me all day.
By the way, you said you're making music videos, right?
Music and music videos.
Okay, cool. And how many have you made so far?
How many what?
Music videos.
Like 3, 4.
Cool. All right. And do you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be longer videos, but it's something.
Okay. I mean, so here's something to think about. Are you directing them yourself?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So I know you're an artist, you're a musician, you're making music, but also if you're directing your music videos, that is a clear, if you want to talk about where you end up, this could be an avenue for you because music video directors end up directing commercials, right? That is a direct line from music videos to commercials. And if you're directing commercials, you make a lot of money, for one. You get to travel the world, for 2. You meet great, interesting people, for 3. So that could be something of interest to you if you choose that line of work. Music videos typically don't have a lot of money. Even when you start working with the big celebrities, you're not going to find a lot of money making music videos. You're going to do okay, kind of. But a lot of music video directors are gonna move into commercials because that's where they can make a killing and really, provide for their families and buy those houses and all sorts of things like that. So something to think about. Yeah, keep doing it. It's great. All right, guys, what else is there? Where else are we going with this conversation? What do you want to talk about? So, who's into acting? My man does it all. Great. Okay. All right.
One of my friends, he's doing this, he's planning this series, this 3 series. One of them being a hood series.
Mm-hmm.
One of them being a movie, which is a hood horror movie.
Okay.
Hood horror comedy, my fault.
Okay.
And another one is like a superhero thing.
The 2 Barrel?
No, the third one is like a superhero thing.
Oh, superhero. Okay.
And I'm gonna be like the cameraman, and I'm gonna be help directing it. I'm gonna be also an actor in it.
Nice.
I have to show people what shots, like I take the shots beforehand to show them like, okay, this is what I want. Make sure like if you get it over the shoulder, make sure you get the shoulder too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's great. That's great. That's cool. I mean, the more well-rounded, if this is what you like doing, and the more well-rounded you become, it's just going to make, as you get older and your profession starts to mature, your career starts to mature, you're going to just be that much more knowledgeable of how everything works. You're going to have a greater command over your content. It's great that you're doing all that. Yeah, and if you love it, keep doing it. And plus, I will say that your art, the world needs your art, because if you're making art and you're telling stories and making music that reflects your reality in the world you live in, and you're finding the sounds that really express those emotions for you, and you're having fun doing it, oh, come on. It's a great combination. So keep doing it, man. It's great. All right. So Gary.
Yep.
All right. What else should we talk about? Or where else should we go?
You've covered a lot. I don't know what else. What's your next project? What are you working on?
Yeah, so I'm doing this story on historical Black colleges. That's next. That's going to be a lot of fun to do.
Say that again. What are you doing?
Historical Black colleges, which will be a lot of fun to do. And I'm doing a story about a law in Wisconsin that has contributed to mass incarceration. So I'm looking at those 2 subject matters. Yeah.
How does it work? How do you get an idea? How does it go from your brain to the screen?
It's a good question. It's research and just researching, having an idea and researching that idea and exploring that idea in as many ways as I possibly can. I don't do this alone. I have a team to do it with me. And we find the story, we do the research, we find the story, and we go after that story. Yeah. So as you guys are at a really wonderful age right now. I want to say that because I don't want you guys. It's hard to know that for yourselves when you're living it. But you guys are between the ages of 16 and 22 is a really amazing age range to just explore all your curiosities professionally, because I don't think anyone's expecting you to know what you want to do for the rest of your life right now. But as you explore what really makes you happy and what really perks your interest and what occupies your mind, whether it be sports, news, or whatever it might be, like really look into that and find opportunities that you can explore those even deeper. Like, don't miss this window of your life. like put it to great use, because you guys had a really, really smart time in your lives, and you guys can really, really find yourselves doing really fun stuff, interesting things, and finding how to make money from it too. So go for it. Just go for it. I hope I've been helpful. It's been fun talking to you guys. Thank you. And you know, I can't encourage that enough, just to keep going. This program is really good for you guys too, just to explore this area of this area that could be an option for you. So don't take it for granted. Soak up every bit you can.
Thank you very much, Keith.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Well,
Thank you.
All right. Cheers, everyone.
bye.
All right.